All right. Hey guys, welcome to today's video broadcast. Today's title is How to Niche Down as a CPA, Enrolled Agent, or a Bookkeeper in 2020. So we are in part 2 of our series talking about marketing strategies so you guys can really hit the multi-six-figure level in 2020 with your tax, bookkeeping, or accounting business. So quick introduction. If you are new to me, my name is Krista. I am an enrolled agent by the Internal Revenue Service, and I have a program called Tax and Accounting Clients on Demand that walks CPAs, bookkeepers, accountants, and enrolled agents on how to utilize social media to get paid clients consistently and build a multi-six-figure virtual tax and accounting firm. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put some links below. If you're new to my channel, come on over, subscribe, and comment below if you're catching this live or if you're catching this in a replay. Hey guys. All right, so first things first, we did part 1 of this series a few days ago. In part 1, I'll try to link that video below if you missed it. But we talked about the business plan that you need as a CPA, enrolled agent, tax professional, financial coach that's really going to allow you to really set and solidify the plan of action that you need that's going to get you to that multi-six-figure level. So we talked about inputs, outputs. We talked about knowing your numbers and how to actually track your numbers. And I shared with you a very private document that I only share with my paid clients. And I showed you how we actually reverse engineer our process to make sure that we hit our income goals in 2020. So in today's video, I want to talk about the niche, because a lot of people, either you fall into 2 classes when it comes into the niche. You're either on the school of Krista. I know all of tax and accounting. I'm a CPA. I'm an EA. I've been in bookkeeping for 20 years. I can help all sorts of businesses, right? And you're like, I'm afraid. I'm definitely afraid to niche down. Or you're in the other group where you're like, okay, Krista, let's rock out with the niche. I'm all for really honing in on a particular type of industry and becoming the best at it. So my intention is really to break down, the importance of a niche and how you can really set yourself up for massive profits when you do it right. So first, let's talk about the problem, right? Because most tax professionals, bookkeepers, CPAs, and financial coaches, because you guys are so smart, right? You guys are so smart, a lot of aspects of tax law and accounting and bookkeeping, you really can help any type of industry. The thing when you become a generalist and when you stay a generalist, now at some point, of course, you do want to take on clients from all sorts of capacity, because I do get the common objection. People are like, well, Krista, are you saying I'm going to turn down a chiropractor if my niche is gas station owners, right? So I tell you guys, we're going to get all of our clients, right? We're going to help as many people as we can. But until you get to a certain point in your business to where you're at least consistently making, $15,000, $20,000 per month, I would say you do want to work with many different industries. It's just that when we go to do our marketing, right, and we really go to create standard operating procedures and systems and processes for ourselves, that's really going to allow us to work smarter, then we really want to start focusing on a niche. So if you're just starting out, by all means, take on a few clients. They don't have to be niche specific. But if you're really in a position where you want to scale this business up, this is the type of person I'm talking to, you really want to scale your tax and accounting business up, it's really, really smart to focus on a particular industry. So I want to talk to you about the tale of 2 accountants, right? 2 accountants slash tax professionals. Now, one accountant came my way, and, she was a generalist. She's like, hey, Krista, I have 13 clients. I'm making about, I think it was like 13 or 15 clients. She was making about $5,000 per month, and she was priced at around $350, right? And so she felt overworked. She was overwhelmed. She was like, these 13 clients demand so much of my time, and I'm only charging them $350 per month. And I, after I dug in there, I started to ask her, I was like, well, how much in revenue does these businesses make? And come to find out, these businesses were making over $500,000 in revenue. Some were making upwards to $1 million, others on the lower end around $200,000 a year. It really didn't justify the amount of work that she was putting into helping these people with their bookkeeping and their accounting. And it really showed in her bottom line. She's like, $5,000 doesn't even scratch the surface, right? She lived in California, and she's like, it's getting me by. But, she really just felt like she was on a hamster wheel. She's like, I have all of these clients, and she did a really great job in getting the client, as far as just doing just hustle, right? She hustled her way to get those 13 to 15 clients, but it really didn't justify the amount of work that she was doing, didn't justify how much she was bringing in every single month. And in California, you guys know, like, I, shout out to everybody that's in California, but like the cost of living is definitely 10 times higher than, most states. Okay. And I'm in Michigan. So, what's, $1 million house out in California is probably like a little $1,500 apartment, right? $1 million house here in Michigan is like 10,000 square feet, right? So it's a huge disparity in, what a dollar can do for you out there. And so after analyzing her business, I really saw that she had, bookkeeping clients from all over the place. Now, rightfully so, this lady is smart. She's been doing bookkeeping for a few years, and she's really good at what she does, right? And so she had businesses, in the service industry. She had a few construction clients. She had a few, it was just all over the place, right? And she really didn't have like systems in place, to where she can actually streamline her services. On one account, she had to do and use other additional platforms just to service this one client. And you guys know, if you're an accountant or bookkeeper, you know that, oftentimes when you are working with a particular industry, there are very industry specific accounting softwares. They're very specific industry specific CRMs, and just back-end operational managements, right? So there are industry-specific software for the health industry, right? There's industry-specific software for an auto mechanic, right? So oftentimes when you go and you work with these businesses, you're going to be not only working with QuickBooks or Xero, whatever accounting platform that you're utilizing, but you're also going to be working with their industry-specific accounting and back-end operational software that they're utilizing. And oftentimes you're going to be syncing those two to extract and pull out the information that you need in order to finish up the bookkeeping and accounting or AR or AP or whatever the scope of services is. So because she had all of these different industries that she was working with, she had to learn all of these different extra platforms, right? For her real estate client, she was using a outside software called Appfolio, right? And for her auto mechanic, she was using an outside platform called Mitchell's, right? And she had to learn these different platforms so they can talk to QuickBooks, right? And so she can extract the information that she needs. And so what that did for her, she had so many different ways in which she had to do bookkeeping for clients. She didn't have a streamlined process. She didn't have a step-by-step system that she can go that was consistent for every single client. So it's taken her longer than normal to handle that workload. And at this point of her only bringing in around $5,000 per month, she didn't have the resources to hire an assistant bookkeeper to kind of do a lot of those mundane transactions that she needed to do, such as getting those systems to talk to each other and, reconciling the transactions, the tedious job of the bookkeeping, right? She didn't have enough money to even pay somebody and outsource to do that, because the money that she was bringing in literally was paying the bills, right? And she couldn't afford to, obviously not pay the bills, right? So now I want to tell you about the opposite type of bookkeeper, accountant, tax professional that, I end up working with. And this person, again, is in California. She has a niche, and her niche was dental offices. Okay. And the reason, and she was making 10 times the amount of money that my other new client was making. She had the same amount of clients. She had 13 to 15 clients. This lady was bringing in almost $20,000 per month, right? With her dental practice owners, right? Same amount of clients, right? 13 to 15, but 10 times the amount that my other client was bringing in. This lady was bringing in 5,000. This lady was bringing in 20,000 with the exact amount of clients. Okay. One was a generalist. One is an expert for dental practices. She provides expert services, bookkeeping and accounting, as well as tax preparation for dental owners. So when I looked at this lady's business model, a lot of the strategies, she had learned from just watching me on YouTube and growing her business. But she had already started off with a few dental practice owners, and she just decided to double down on that. She was like, Krista, I already had, 2 to 3 that I was working with. She worked with one, she got referrals to 2 or 3 more, and she was just like, I'm just going to make that my niche. She wasn't even passionate about it. And we'll talk about how to really choose your niche in just a few. But she was able to really create systems and processes in place that allowed her to just work beautifully, right? Now, because she was working with the same niche, every process that she did for one client, she duplicated for the next. Her onboarding systems were seamless to where she literally can onboard, her capacity to even onboard is ridiculous because she has a step-by-step process in which how she onboards a dental practice owner. She knows exactly what systems to use. She knows exactly the KPIs that they should be looking out for. She knows exactly the industry standards that she needs to communicate to them so that they can become more profitable, right? And this is where you really become the differentiator. This is why she's able to make $20,000 per month with the same amount of clients, because she actually is an expert for this industry. Now, when she goes into a dental practice, she's able to say, Mr. and Mrs. Dental Practice Owner, based upon how your P&L looks and based upon my years of experience or just the in-depth knowledge that I have on the industry, I see just off the top that you're spending over $10,000 in excess on this line item, right? So she's able to immediately go in and spot deficiencies, right? She's able to immediately go in and already have this such an intimate detail, such a very intimate detail of the industry that she knows what type of insurance providers that they should, be contracting. She knows the type of supplies that they should have on staff. She knows the average pay salaries that they should be in, and benefits packages that, based upon their revenue, that they should be offering their staff for maximum performance. So she's able to come in as a value add. And you see the difference? Like, one was just doing the after the fact bookkeeping, and the other one, because she invested in actually knowing and becoming the best in this industry, one of the best in that industry, she's able to go in and be a value add. She's able to go in and immediately spot deficiencies, immediately help increase revenue, immediately help increase net profit margins. So this is why we choose a niche, because one, we become the expert. We're able to charge more money, right? We're able to make 10 times the amount of money that an average generalist after the fact bookkeeper makes, or an accountant or a CPA or EA. We're able to make 10 times the amount. We're also able to streamline our processes to where we can onboard a client with ease, because guess what? The process is the same, right? We're able to do the bookkeeping when we do it. We're able to do it with ease because guess what? The process is the same. We don't have to figure out different systems to use or different apps to use. We don't have to learn new tax law or new accounting, strategies for this niche, because it's the same for everybody. So you just duplicate the process. So it's the equivalent of going to McDonald's, right? McDonald's niche down to hamburgers, right? So they're able to have this assembly line of hamburgers, hamburger, and then they take the bun, and then they put the ketchup, and then the what come after ketchup, guys? Mustard, right? And then they put the pickle, then they drop some onions, and then they put the bun, and then they're done. This is the type of systems that you're going to be able to establish in your CPA practice, your accounting practice, your EA practice. This is how you want to run it, because you're actually going to be able to work at a higher capacity. You're going to be able to get more work done in less time. So your dollar for performance goes up. The amount of money that you make for time spent actually goes up even higher, right? So this is the importance, and that is the tale of my two people. Now, I also have here in my notes is that, sometimes when choosing a niche, people always ask me like, okay, Krista, I get it. You sold me. I want to choose a niche. Now, how? Right? So this is a great question. So typically I teach my clients 2 ways to choose a niche, right? It's going to shock you. You're going to be blown away when you hear this, right? The first way is I tell people, I ask them, I say, what do you have experience in? If I put somebody in front of you today, if I put a business in front of you today on the phone, would you already know how their business operates? Would you already understand some intimate details of the industry? So what industries come to mind when I ask that question? If I was to put you on the phone with this particular business owner, who could you immediately talk to? Who could you immediately provide value to based upon your experience already? Now, this could be a job that you worked at, or a career that you have or currently have, right? Oftentimes, people don't want to go after the niche that they have the most experience in, and I'm like, oh, that's such a missed opportunity, right? It's such a missed opportunity because let's just say you've been working in engineering for the past 10 years. I will highly behoove you to make engineering your first niche, right? Because you have such an intimate detail, you have such a intimate background knowledge of that niche that as soon as you hit the marketplace, you're already able to communicate value because you've already lived it, you've already experienced it. So the very first go-to that I tell you is to look at your work history, pull out your resume if you have to, and really look to see, based upon my resume, based upon my work history, which one of these industries do I want or can I commit myself to for the next 6 months, right? Do it for 6 months. I always tell my clients, you aren't married to this niche. If you get into this niche and you realize you don't want to work with these people anymore, leave them, right? Go on to the next niche. But I do tell my clients, do not be a niche hopper. Okay. You don't want to keep hopping from niche to niche. You want to commit to one, build up a book of business. And if by chance you just aren't resonating with that niche, then you can transition to another niche. So the first thing that I want to tell you is look at your work history, go with that niche first, even if you aren't totally passionate about it. Okay. And I'm saying, even if you aren't totally passionate about it, go into that niche because it makes sense, right? You already have confidence. And that's the thing that keeps my clients and people that's watching this video, that keeps you from success, because people always tell me, I don't feel confident enough to talk to those people. I don't feel confident enough to provide services. I don't feel confident enough to provide this other type of service, right? When you can reduce your learning curve, you're going to feel more confident in less time. So if you go after a niche you've already worked in, you already are coming to the marketplace with a stronger sense of confidence for yourself. Okay. Now, the second thing that I tell my people is your passion. Okay. Then we go to passion. So if you're just like, absolutely not, Krista, I worked in legal and I absolutely do not want to work with lawyers, like never, right? If you're that type, and I get it, this happens very rarely, but it happens, then I say go after your passion. But you do have to look at the downside when it comes to following your passion with tax, accounting, bookkeeping, is you're going to have a slight learning curve, right? You're going to have to spend some time to really understand the tax law for this niche, to really understand the unique accounting strategies for this niche, to really understand some basic benchmarking for this niche, KPIs, to really understand, the industry standards for this niche, right? So that's going to take you a little bit more time, but that's okay if you're willing to put in that time and you're passionate about it. By all means, go for it. Now, last thing on the niche subject before we end today's session. There are some niches that are more profitable than others, right? And so I say that to say, so for instance, let's just say you wanted to go after hairstylists, okay, as a niche, which I do have people that go after hairstylists. You have to look at the capacity, right? So if you're going to go after hairstylists, I do want you guys to pull up, like, what's the average salary for a hairstylist? What's the average salary for a real estate agent, right? And I think when I did that research, I put up average salary for a real estate agent. The last time I did it, it was about $45,000. Okay. So don't go into this niche thinking that you're only going to get 5 clients at $1,500 per month. When the capacity, you have to do a little bit more work to find the top 10% of this industry to lock in those higher value clients. Okay. Now, let's just say you go after cosmetic surgeons as a niche, right? You Google the average salary of a cosmetic surgeon, it's high 6 figures. It's like $500,000 plus. I think it was around almost $800,000 a year, right? And if they're in private practice, obviously, like I think the average was way more than that. It was like over $1 million. So obviously, if I have these two niches, one is hairstylists or one is real estate agents, they make on average $45,000, right? The other one is a cosmetic surgeon, and he or she makes a $500,000 a year. So you can see, based upon the two niches, which one would be more profitable to go after. Now, I don't want that to be your determining factor necessarily, because, like I said, there's always the top 10% in this niche. There's always agents. There's agents making $500,000 in this niche. There's agents making $1 million, 2 million, 3 million, So you're going to be able to find them, but you're also going to have to come with a higher value service, with a higher quality service, in order to lock these people in at a price that's going to be worth your while. Okay. So we're here, you can come with the bare minimum package of bookkeeping, maybe some light AR, AP, right? And off the rip, charge 2 grand per month, just because of the level of which their business is at. So I do want you to take those little nuances, take this into consideration, to make sure that you make the right decision for yourself. Okay. So what I want to leave you here with, if you enjoyed this training, definitely comment below. Let me know what value you got from it. But also, if you're looking to really scale your business to the multi six figures, you really want to lock in those high value tax clients, accounting clients, tax planning clients, CFO clients. I want to invite you to check out my program, Tax and Accounting Clients on Demand. So I'm going to pop the link below. This is my high level training program where I not only teach you how to get the clients, but I also teach you how to run a profitable can I talk tonight? Virtual tax, accounting, and bookkeeping firm. All right, guys, I will catch you in part 3 of our training in a few days. Bye.